Northern Ireland, we are the masters of understatement. If it's been pouring for a week, we'll say it's a wee bit damp. If it's been gorgeous and hot and sunny all week, and your garden's like a desert, well, it's a wee bit warm. Well, today there are 35 mile/hour winds and gusts of up to 45 miles an hour. I would say it's a wee bit rough. Well, hi you Walkwatchers, and welcome to another one of our videos. Tonight I'm going to be spending a night on the mountain in a very, very windy blustery evening. As I said earlier on, there are predicted 35 mile/hour winds and gusts up to 45 miles an hour. The temperature's already down to about 0 degrees, and it's potentially to get down to maybe -5 or -6, because that wind and that wind chill is likely to take the temperature right down. I've had a lovely day already out in the mountains. I've only started. I've met Karen and Thomas Doran. Lovely to see you guys, great to chat to you. And I've just met Trevor. It's just brilliant. I've just had loads of lovely chats. But it's getting rough. It's getting really windy. Now, I'm not making these videos to encourage you out into the elements. I just want to give you some information if you end up being caught out in the elements like this. We've already done soaked. What happens if you get caught in a big downpour and you're out here? What happens if you're walking in the dark was our last one. And tonight is what happens if you get caught in these big blowy conditions. There's a wee series called The Elements. There's a couple more to come. So stay with us for the journey. It should be fun. The first thing to talk about when you're out in these conditions is stability. In strong winds like this, it's easy to be blown off your feet, and I find using any natural shelter that I can one of the first ways to keep myself from being blown over. I'm using the wall right now, but if there's an outcrop of rock or something like that, use it. If you've got your walking poles with you, that's great, because then you've got 3 points of contact with the ground. And of course, if all else fails, drop down a couple of 100 meters and use the mountain itself as shelter to get out of the wind. Stay away from the ridges and the crests of the mountain as well. Otherwise, you know, as the wind comes up and over, it can blow you over, it can blow you down. So stay out of those danger areas and trying to stick to paths that have been well worn. Oh, nearly there. Now, I have chosen a spot on the leeward side of the wall because the wind is blowing a hilly over that side and coming across. So it's coming down from the northwest, which is that direction, coming this way. And thankfully, as you can see, it's quite sheltered where I am. Now, what I did was I pegged out the back end first of all, because that's the end that's facing into the wind, and obviously my door then is facing down this direction, out of the wind. But everything that isn't pegged down, maps, cups, everything in heavy winds or strong winds, is likely to try and escape at some point. So make sure that you keep everything in your rucksack, everything straight into your tent and out of the wind to try and keep it as safe as possible. There's nothing worse than losing bits and pieces to the wind at this stage. As you can see, it's also starting to get very dark because it is now, 10 to 5, and sunset is long past. It was at about 20 past, half past 4. So we're definitely in the gloom now. Oh, that's me into the tent anyway. As we've talked in the last couple of videos, you know, getting the tent up is a real relief. You know, it's your security, it's your safety. And I am relieved to be in the tent and quite secure now. Everything's in place. I've got my sleeping bag and all set up. I'm ready to start cooking actually. And I really do need some food in me, which is I think our next thing is to get some warm food. But you can hear the wind starting to build up on the other side of the wall. Thankfully, it's going up over the top of us at the minute. But I can hear it rushing through the wall. And I reckon if that changes at all tonight, we're going to get it. But again, I've got the tent pitched in that direction, which means that the tail end of the wee hyena it will take the wind up and over the top of us. Hopefully everything will be all right. But yeah, 35 mile an hour winds potentially, 45 mile an hour gusts. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm prepared for. So I hope it's not quite as bad as that, but who knows? We're all set up for it and ready to go anyway. Now, just as I get myself sorted out here, tonight I'm doing a sesame and sweet chilli salmon on a bed of couscous with some asparagus. I mean, what else are you coming to this wild camping channel for but gourmet food on the top of a mountain in wild winds? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. It should be simple enough. 250 mils of boiling water. Put the couscous into that and let it stand until it absorbs all of the water. That'll probably take about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to lightly fry the salmon off in the sesame and sesame oil and sweet chilli, and let that lightly fry. And then at the end, I'll do the asparagus for 5 minutes in some boiling water, just so they just become tender. And that's it. It should be nice, I think. We'll see. It's definitely getting blowy out there now. You can see my breath? And it's getting cold. Which leads me to wind chill. Because the wind steals your heat faster than it just being cold. Wind chill can be quite lethal. You know, what is a couple of degrees of temperature in the wind can drop way down to -6 or whatever. And so something to guard against when you're up here in the wind like this, because your body heats a layer of air next to your skin and the wind takes that away very, very quickly. So it's all about layers. It's all about making sure you've got plenty of layers on you and with you. The other thing is I tend to run a bit hot. So I like to start off cold and then layer up as I walk, because sweating is another problem, because that wind will evaporate what is quite a warm layer and remove the moisture, and with it remove the heat, and therefore you get quite cold quite quickly. One of the layers that I always wear in the wind is my windbreaker, my windshield, my big Revolution Race jacket, or my Berg House, simply because that acts as a proper windbreak. Just to wear something like a fleece really wouldn't cut it, because that will allow the air to escape and the wind to carry the heat away. Whereas the windbreaker is not only there to keep the rain off you and to keep you dry, but it's also there for wind management and air management inside those layers that you've built up, heat management of the heat that your body is generating. In short, temperature is how cold it is, and wind chill is how cold it feels. The difficulty is in wind chill, you could be getting colder and colder, and the temperature still remain at, a balmy 2 degrees. So layers is the key, making sure that you've got plenty of layers on, that you're layering up as you slowly stop, and you're layering down, if that's a thing, as you are walking, so that you're not sweating. And particularly when I'm here now, I've already got my t-shirt on and I've got my fleece on. I've changed into my woolly hat. I've got my thermal socks on, and I will be layering up as the night goes on, because already I can start to see my breath, and it's definitely getting colder outside, and the wind chill increasing. Now, into that salmon, which is coming on really well, I've got this, which is just a mixture of sweet chili sauce and sesame oil. So I'm just going to put that in now and flavour the salmon. It's already starting to crisp up on the bottom. I can smell it charring, burning, charring on the bottom. Now here's the problem. This is all very nice, but I did tell you there was going to be asparagus with it. Oh. Well, the asparagus never materialised. It is there, but I forgot to cook it. So I'll just eat it raw. But this is amazing. Sweet chili sauce. Sesame oil. And the couscous. Gorgeous. And again, it's exactly what you need. Central heating. Something warm inside you to fend off this cold and this wind chill. Oh, it's lovely. Well, I'm just taking a moment because there's a bit of a quiet lull. It's just after midnight, and I thought I would get out very quickly and tighten the guy lines, and glad I did, because it was starting to get very saggy in here. But I don't know whether you can hear that. It's snowing and the temperature has dropped significantly, and it is crazy blowy. Only a couple of minutes ago there were some massive big gusts of wind coming across, yeah, even just going outside, my fingers are freezing, my toes are cold, Thankfully, with the rest of my layers on, I'm quite warm, but yeah, it's a cold one out there, and certainly very blowy. Again, I think the wall is doing a lot of heavy lifting tonight. I think I've pitched the tent in the right place. The wind has changed slightly into probably a west-northwest rather than a north-northwest, which means that it's hitting me more squarely on the side than rather than coming down the length of the tent. But so far the wee tent has coped okay, so yeah, I think we can weather it. It's certainly a fun one. Anyway, I'm going to get back into the sleeping bag. I did get a few hours sleep there before I decided to get up and tighten the lines. But I want to get back to sleep again. I want to get back into a wee warm sleeping bag. Good night, everybody. Well, that escalated fast. Snow was in the forecast, and as I said to you last night, I could hear it coming on. But the temperatures have just fallen off a cliff. With that wind last night, with the wind chill, temperatures went from 0 to -2 down to -4 when I was out this morning tightening those guy lines. And it's still at about 1 degrees or -1 degrees now. But it's absolutely stunning outside, absolutely gorgeous. But there's a real risk with this sort of weather. I won't go into a big deep dive about how to deal with snow and really cold temperatures if you're caught out in this. That's a whole other video. But suffice to say, it's about slowing down, making yourself warm and staying warm. Lots of insulation layers. I mean, I'm wearing a ton of layers now. I've got a couple of t-shirts on, a fleece, and my insulation jacket, my downy jacket. And when I get out to walk, I'll put that windbreak back on again to cut down the wind, and that will cut it down from taking away, or will stop it from taking away that layer of warm air that's close to my body right now. So a lovely night in the tent, although it was really rather rough. But I slept for most of the night, only getting up a couple of times just to tighten the guys. There was a moment when I was sort of dropping off. I'd gone out to tighten up the guy lines. I'd come back in, got into my sleeping bag, and I could feel a draft right up my back, and it was freezing. So that was the only time when I felt uncomfortable through the night. For the rest of the time, my sleeping bag keeps me very cosy and warm, and I had a couple of layers on last night as well. I had a pair of long johns on, so I was cosy enough. Now though, it is breakfast time, and I cannot wait to get a big mug of coffee, because in weather like that I need the central heating. So porridge this morning and a big mug of coffee. Well, that was a rough night. But spectacular morning. Beautiful, beautiful scenery here in the snowy mountains. I'm all packed up, left no trace of course, and I'm ready to get back on the trail. I am absolutely freezing. My hands are fine and my body's fine. My feet though are like blocks of ice, so I really need to get onto the trail and get the blood flowing around my body again to get those extremities all warmed up. And of course, I'm not making these videos to encourage people to come out onto the mountains in weather like this. The reason that I'm making them is so that if you are caught out here, that you have more information to make good choices and get you through weather like this. Anyway, I'm going to finish the video up here. If you've made it this far, well done you. And if you're not a subscriber, perhaps you would click on that little button down there in the corner and click the little notifications bell to be kept up to date with all that we're doing here at Walkwatchers. And of course, it's the winter. But still, go get your boots on, go outside and go exploring, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye. Thank you.